All right, so we're going to be talking about the Behringer Inuke 6000 DSP. So I have a few of them. I have two 6000s, two 3000s. So what I have is my Marantz SR7010. It has an RCA for the sub pre output. I don't have an XLR back there, so I have to use an RCA cable that then turns into the other end of it has the XLR that goes into the back of the Inuke 6000. And then you hook up the wire to get into the DSP. Could go through the front knobs, but it's kind of a pain in the neck. So I use the Behringer software. So you plug it in right there through USB, and then you plug it into your computer right here. Let me do it again. It's going to, you know what, it should say connect. That's because I already had it going. So let's do it one more time. All right. So you click the little Behringer Inuke, you plug your USB cable into the computer, and then this will pop up. You hit connect. If you have, say, a UM1822 sub, and you want to have that going, you would choose dual mono. So click yes. Here's another thing too. I wouldn't worry about the delay because if you only have one sub in your room, you want this off. Your peak limiter is basically how many, which is right here, how much your output, how many watts, the voltage, how many watts you want to see your UM18 take. And to be honest with you, the UM1822 can take all the power this Inuke could give it. I forget, it was like bench tested. There's a guy in ABS Shreds, I think, that it was like 1600 watts or 1500 watts. I forget. I'd have to look, but you could max this out. You could take it all the way up there. Another thing too is on the front of the Inuke amps, you'll see how all my gain knobs are turned all the way up. So what that is the AVR sends a signal to the Inuke amp. It's an input signal, and it's sensitive voltage. So right now I have it all the way up because I want the most amount of voltage to go into the amp, and then I have my master volume for the subs right here. It's under filter crossover, and it's gain. Mine are -6. And that's basically how you control it. Maybe for the UM1822, I'd have this gain at like a positive like 3 or 4. But again, watch these lights. Once this Christmas tree of lights lights up and hits red, that means you're clipping the amp. You're clipping the sub. So it's not good for the sub. So you have to be careful of that. See where you're at. Now, if you want to do the high pass workaround to get under 20 hertz, you have to choose Butterworth -12, and then once that's put in right there, and there, then you go to parametric EQ. You would click on this right there. You would set this one at -4, this at 20 hertz, and this right here to a LS12, which is at the very bottom of it. And the screen, it's going to look like that, but this will get you under 20 hertz. So that's important to do if you have a sub that's tuned to like 17 hertz or 15 hertz. The DSP will protect your sub up to that frequency. And that's basically it. There's more to this actually. Like dynamic EQ. There's a few threads on AVS forum and other places you could watch to mess with this. I don't really mess with this too much. I will eventually, but I just haven't had time right now. So, but what it pretty much is kind of like it's a dynamic EQ, which is basically the name for it. It'll boost it. So say you're listening at -20, and you could boost the subs like to 20 hertz. 20 hertz of the subs. You could choose, basically it gives you an option to pick like one frequency over there. So your sub is going to be, the volume of the sub is going to be hitting hard as hell. And then when you raise your volume to say 0 on the AVR, instead of the sub getting louder, it'll pretty much stay the same. It'll compensate for itself. It's pretty much how your dynamic EQ runs on your AVR as a quick explanation of it. Setup, if you do some filters, which are crossovers, it's called the same thing, a filter and a crossover. Same exact thing. Say you put them all into your Inuke, which is right here. You would, pick a filter, whatever you have, like peaks or nulls. You really don't want to EQ. You don't want to boost a null, but you want to take away from a peak. You try to get a flat line to be have the room flat. So if you go to setup, once you're all done doing all this, you could click on a number, say number 11. You would click on that. This will turn yellow. You go there, put in like today's state, and you hit store, and it'll store for whatever you did today. And that's basically it. That's how you do it.